Hey, here we are. If you could have only known what we were speaking about before we got on here. Welcome to the Dirty South. Here we are again. We missed last week. All of us were kind of spread thin and not too much. It was kind of a transition week, anyways. And here we are this week, ready to talk some wrestling. How you guys doing?
I'm
Grant, go
great.
ahead.
I'm excited. Wrestling season, we're recording this on Monday. So depending on when you're watching it, starts Tuesday, tomorrow. Three girls tournament in Florida. I know it's already started in the rest of the South. I mean, I couldn't be more excited and ready for a season to begin.
So, actually, do we start? Did are some? I guess the drumstick duels are probably tomorrow, aren't they? Are
Yeah,
they tomorrow?
actually, three of them are tomorrow. Flagler's tomorrow, Drumstick Duels are tomorrow, and Queens of the Nest is tomorrow. And then Saturday is Ladies of the Ring. And if there's anything else out there that I don't know about, but those are the four main ones
Please
that
send
are
them.
starting
Something
this week.
that I just like to throw out there before we get started into our stuff is I tried to go through and kind of look at the college stuff for our state down in Florida, see who's out there. Um, Real quick, and it'll just kind of a little recap. 2020, I saw the Missouri Valley Open. Some Florida girls, Val Solario, second place. Gabby Tedesco won her weight class. Grace,
Hang on. You don't need to just list that though. You need to talk about Gabby because
oh,
she is on fire.
she has, and both of them really have been on fire. Val Solario and Gabby. Val was undefeated going into the finals. Gabby is doing Gabby things as well. Val ended up running into Busakis, which she is one of those girls that's a phenom, right? So Val is starting off her season, but Gabby Tedesco, yes, you're right. Uh, Knocking off Valencia was. Go ahead, tell your story, my friend.
No, 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 no. You were doing great.
Yeah.
I, I, we get tagged in different things, and you see kind of who tags you on Facebook and everything else, and that just kind of leads you down a rabbit hole. But that's kind of how we get our information, and I just have been afforded the opportunity to watch some of Gabby's matches and kind of whatever. And I thought she was great in high school, and watching her compete like this past weekend or whatever it was. I mean, she was just. I mean, I think she's even better. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Every
think
year it
she
gets
is
better.
unbelievable. She is on fire, dude.
I agree that the ceiling that she has is something different. But yeah, those two girls have had a great start to the season. An NAIA, a young lady that we know well, Grace Lashinsky, over at Lindsey Wilson, goes into the Missouri Valley Open and takes second. I mean, this tournament, some say, is one of the toughest women's NCAA tournaments, college tournaments in the country. And then Gabby Perez over at Campbellsville took
Hmm.
it. So four girls there, guys. I'm doing the best I can with one eye open to find all this stuff. So if the public out there, if you guys have kids in college and you want us to give them a little shout out weekly when they do something great, please let us know.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, and honestly, I mean, again, guys, what I get tagged on Facebook, I share it on Facebook, I share it on Instagram. I got a great picture of, I don't know if you guys saw it, from the kids from Georgia, UNI and North Dakota State, and there was like seven Georgia kids or something who either wrestled in that duel or will wrestle in wrestled at one of those schools or will wrestle in the future. But man, it's so cool to see kids that we know who competed years over the last few years, now doing things at another level. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I started by tracking like as many kids as I could. There are so many Southeast kids all over the place. There's just no way to keep
I don't know how
track of
you
them
did.
all.
I can't do it anymore.
I was barely. I know I missed a ton of Florida kids, and I'm sure when I get through this, you guys will send me messages. And good for you. Please do. I want to follow your child, right? Um, but over at the CUW invite in Wisconsin, we had two 125ers in the finals. Chippy
Mhm.
Christian Guzman won it against Andrew Punzelin, two kids from our state. Over at the 2025 Black Knight Invitational. Uh, Braden Basil took first. Roman Lermer took sixth. Cooper Haas took fourth place, and Big Ethan Vergara took a fifth place finish over at the Black Knight Invitational. So great job to them. Shout out to them. The big tournament for the Southeast, and I'm sure if I put you on go down a hole, you'd probably find a bunch of Southeast kids. I tried to just locate Florida kids, but the Lucha Open was huge this weekend for
Yeah.
the Southeast. We
Yeah.
had the gold pool and we had the silver pool, and I'm just going to try to go through this just to give the kids a little shout out. We had Tyler Washburn, who went unattached for the Citadel. He took sixth. Jasper Kroom, a young high school kid who we know over with SOT, went up there on the gold side and took sixth. Matthew Velasco of Montevello took seventh. Michael Shannon of Southeastern took seventh. Nathan Napolitano wrestled unattached, took eighth. Ty Rodriguez of Southeastern took eighth. That's in the gold pool. And two other gold pools was Connor Huck over at St. Thomas. And then a young, well, we all know him. He's a badass. Zion Wimberly of Funky Monkey went up there on the gold side, 125, and took eighth, which was huge. And then on the silver pool, we had Jason Carbajal of Kaiser, took second, 133. Dooley Brutus, sorry, Dooley, messed that up, at Kaiser University, 133. Derek Maitel of Kaiser, 133. Shai Kiri of Kaiser, 157, took sixth. Derek took sixth. Jake Wyatt took eighth. So Kaiser coming out of there with some things. Yeah, obviously, Cole trying to grow that program. And then you had TJ McLean of Bruton Parker, 125. Xavier Pena, another high school Funky Monkey kid, at 174, took eighth. And then we had three gladiators up there with Coach Duck. We had second place Armand Williams at 149, Tyree Graham second at 165, and Sebastian Morero seventh at 285. If there was any Florida people that I didn't shout out there, well, and they did place this weekend at the Lucha Open, shout out to them. I'm sure the Southeast, I did not go through Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina. I sound like I'm learning the states when I was a kid. But I'm sure there was tons because as I was going through, I saw them. And then quickly, just to touch on, I saw over at the 2025 Keystone Classic, which was loaded up in Pennsylvania, over in Philadelphia at University of Penn. We had a kid that we know, Andrew Austin, took fifth place up there at 133.
Wrestling for Central Michigan.
Yep. And then we had a young lady who we know took a couple titles down here for Freedom, Kaylee Reese. She's up in Providence, Montana. She took second place at 138. And then I tried to go through some duels. I saw some dual wins by some kids that we have in our state. These are only their wins. Some of them lost as well. But, Heap took Anderson Heap got a win at his duel. Jacob Levy won three matches in their duels this weekend. I think it was Davidson, Greensboro, and UNC Pembroke. Eli Rivera, who's now ranked 22 in the country, won his match against Northwestern. Alex Smith won his match against Princeton. They were wrestling each other. And then you had Hayden Whitten over at SIUE, won his duel. Number 33, Brendan Abden, who we know, and we know all of these, but we watched him win.
Yeah, how do you do a Ryder?
He beat Sean Taylor at West Virginia.
Nice. Okay.
So he had a nice win there. And then, up at CMU, we have a lot of Florida kids up at CMU. Alex Walker won his match, a decision. Eric Hodge won his match. Roman Garcia won his match. And Austin Foyer, who's ranked number one in the country right now at 285 for CMU, he had a great win. They forfeited to him. So, shout out to those people, men and women. I mean, I'm sure there's more out there. I would love to take 5 minutes like this on the beginning of our shows and try to shout out our college kids that are out there. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. But
So I'm just gonna give a little bit of meat to the bones that Dan just gave, only on a couple of things because one, been chasing tons of information and there's just no way to, and this could take the entire time. But
You look
a
like that
couple of things I
emoji
think you
that goes
guys
like this.
a couple of things I think you guys might want to know. Number one, Cooper Flynn, who's back wrestling at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. He took fifth at the Black Knight Invitational. He has been a multiple time NCAA qualifier. Great weight at 125. 133, we had a Georgia versus Georgia clash really early in the tournament with TK Davis against Jake Craps. If you remember Jake Craps, TK beat him. TK ended up third. Jake ended up fourth. But really, the one that stood out to me, and this is not my last one as far as it relates to this, because you did miss a Florida kid at the Black Knight Invitational who I want to make sure that we talk about. And
Oh,
that is at 141, the weight that Braden Basil won, he beat Aaron Nagao from Penn State in the finals of that weight class. And winning that weight class, Nagao was I don't know if he was an All-American a couple of years ago at Minnesota or what. He's now at Penn State. He might be their starting. Maybe he was their 33. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that is a big win for Braden
and
Basil.
how
Big
cool
win.
is that trophy?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's a vest. It's like a bulletproof vest or something.
It's their vest that
Yeah,
they and does it have their name on it or it just has Black Knight invite?
I think it just says Black Knight. Maybe they put their name after.
So the last kid that I wanted to just real quick before we move on is also placing at that Black Knight invite was a two-time Florida State champ, maybe one time, two-time Florida State champ, wrestling at Tennessee Chattanooga, CJ Liddy, who
Oh,
took fifth. He used to wrestle at Buchholz High School. And
sorry,
just to give you an
CJ. You see, I
idea,
He was
knew
a
I'd
two
met
timer.
somebody.
and give you an idea, that weight was won by PJ Duke first.
Is he any
Okay.
good?
Number two was Joe Seeley for Penn State.
Jeez.
So CJ making the podium at 157. Fantastic. And then I'm sorry, one last one is Gunnar Filipowicz, who wrestled for Woodward Academy up in Georgia. Uh, yeah, he took second at 165, lost to the defending national champ Mitchell Messenbrink in the finals. So,
Oh.
eh.
There's
All
that.
right.
So sorry, CJ Liddy, and I'm sure there's some girls out there that wrestled this
Oh
week.
no, there's
I'm
so
sure
many.
there's
Like,
so
there's
many,
no way in the world to touch on
um,
all the different events and everything
but
else.
I tried to go through and see who I could see real quick just to give you guys some love and do that. I know, with that being said, I know we've got Brant's number ones going into these girls' tournaments. I saw him post
Thank you
two.
for your photos on that. That really made them pop. I had a lot of people tell me they really liked the graphics, and I'm sure that's why.
Oh, well, cool. And then, and two badass girls on those. And and then we have the three or four girls tournaments coming up this week for Thanksgiving. So it's mostly ladies wrestling, right? We're not getting
I
too.
mean, there's guys wrestling this weekend. Seahorses this coming weekend. Um, so you'll see a lot of guys and girls wrestling there. That's not official wrestling for the season. So like the girls' season has started. You'll still have girls wrestling there, not as part of their high school team. This week is the first week that high school girls in the state of Florida can compete. Next Monday is when the boys can compete. I think I know of at least one duel on the Monday. Um, but that picks up. So there will be guys wrestling this weekend. On the high school level, you'll have Seahorse. There's some IOFs for the kids this weekend also. But official state sanction, this stuff counts. There's 4 tournaments in the state of Florida, 3 Tuesday, one Saturday.
And we're gonna get to it, but we start with a bang. It's not like we just ease into the
Yes.
season.
There's a big one out there.
There's some quality competition potential things that we're gonna get to here in just a little bit. Um, but one of the things that makes this week kind of a little unusual is that we usually get these big tournaments on a Saturday or a
Yes.
Friday Saturday. And that's not happening this week because they're getting them in before the Thanksgiving break. And as a wrestler, I would have appreciated that
Yeah,
personally,
because then you
you know.
can enjoy dinner maybe a little more than you would have.
That's right. Although I did not enjoy Thanksgiving very much for many years.
Yes.
But let's start going back to your number ones as we begin the season with the girls. And I don't know if you track this, but I would venture to guess that if you did this a year ago, did many of those number ones end up number one?
It's a good question. I should have somebody track that.
Just your
I think last year a lot probably did. I mean I don't have it in front of me,
sure.
especially on the girl side. Girl side last year was I think a little more cut and dry at the top. I mean, in what we had 10 seniors graduates. That makes sense. Or 10 champions of the 14, I think.
That's right.
Graduated. So yeah, that there was a reason that they're fairly simple to figure out. This one, there's a few that I could tell you that's how if they it may not be the weight they end up in, but they'll be a champ. But there's a lot that are wide open, and I don't know that I'll have as high a number as I may have had last year if I had tracked it.
So one of the things I think that's important for everybody to kind of keep in mind is, well, Brand and all of us who kind of do rankings or pay attention to that sort of thing, you know, we're going by weight certs, we're going by, different pieces of information. There's
Some of these girls haven't weight certed, and some of
right,
their coaches haven't sent me anything. I would say
right.
most of these have. I'm looking 3 or 4 of them I don't have any information on, so I'm just assuming, Fargo weights and other things as to where they may be. So some of the weights may be off, and they may change on their own anyway. Like they may intend to be that weight now, and they aren't at the end of the year. So it's
Yeah.
just these are based on uh, as much information as we can possibly get,
Yes,
and
I was in
thankful to all the coaches that do give us information.
I am in South Florida. I have been around a bunch of these girls while down here, and I could say that there are some on here that they've told me they are going that weight, and there's some on here telling me they are not.
Yes. And I've had coaches tell me that they're going one weight and they'll go a different way.
The one that intrigues me,
I would tell
there's
you
one
that,
on here
especially
that
if I
I've
was
already
trying
been
to.
told that they're
well, the
going
one
a
that
different way.
intrigues me a lot is Abby Gonzalez, because I'm going through these schools doing photo shoots,
Yes.
and a lot of the girls around that weight are waiting to see what she does.
Yes.
There's been
With good reason.
Yeah.
There's been whispers that she's going to go back up to 120. There's whispers that she may go to 115, but so there's some really good wrestlers that could win it all that are sitting in weight classes, and we won't see them slide one way or the other until we find out what.
This is literally just a snippet in time that almost becomes obsolete within minutes after posting it. But it is how it looks going into the year, and all these girls will be competitive in whatever weight class they end up in. So I don't.
What's
It's not like we have someone
what's the
crazy.
is there an exact amount of weeks that the season is? I've never
11 weeks for both.
11 weeks for both.
And then you have 3 weeks of postseason, and it takes the girls 4 weeks to do it because they get that bonus week off from regions.
Right.
Weeks.
So that the coaches can be at both different places, right?
11 weeks in season plus 3
Yes.
weeks postseason, right?
For girls, you're looking at 15 weeks. Boys be 14 weeks from when it starts to when it's over.
So do you have those graphics? Can we see them on the thing or no?
I don't know because I don't usually work on Zoom here. So
Okay.
I mean, I have the list in front of me. I have his list in front of me.
I know. I was going to try to show the
graphics are cool.
I was just going to try to show the graphic and
yeah, let me see if I can
watching.
switch up. I just don't want people to see them mess behind me, but hold on.
No worries.
These obviously out of the three that we're going to talk about, the Flagler rotary is going to be the most fuerte.
Yeah.
Fuerte. And
I'm not engaging with your
with my
banter.
Fuerte. But speaking of Senor Parsons number ones, the Flagler Rotary has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those number ones are in the Flagler Rotary.
Yes.
Yep, 5 of those number ones. So there are some matchups that we're probably not doing that yet, right?
No, if we could look at, I just want to give a real quick shout out to the people who are number one, and I wanted to show up the graphic. But Brant, you know what? If that's an issue, don't worry about
It's
it.
not. I just wasn't prepared, but I'll try
I'll
to
just
prepare myself here
I'll
while you
just sit
guys
back here and wait.
are
I
chatting. It's coming up blurry on
It is.
the screen, but not on my screen. So I'm just going to stop everything and not
Yeah,
try and figure it out.
don't worry about it. All right. So why don't we just do a quick rundown? Dan, you got them in front of you. Can you give me like 100, 105, 110?
Yeah, so 100, 105, 110. Uh, my friend Brant Parsons of Cabra Wrestling has chosen Sayori Caceres out of Lincoln High School has been chosen first week of the season to be our number one at 100. Jocelyn Johnson of Flagler Palm Coast has been chosen by the great Cabra to be number one at 105. And the
There we go.
person we spoke about here, Abigail Gonzalez, right now he's got her at 110 tentatively.
All right. So, Brant, as we look at that, you've got two defending state champs sitting there in the first three weights. Jocelyn
Mhm.
won it 2 years ago. Um, Again, not terribly difficult, but one of the things that's a little challenging about those two weights is that those two weights are low, or those three weights are loaded.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
loaded with
oh,
talented
Crazy
girls.
lows. And I know coaches are looking and waiting for assessments and trying to figure out where some wrestlers are going. We had a one shocking assessment for the person I had number one is has assessed at 105 as minimum weight. So we're just everybody's looking and trying to figure out where they're going to fall. And I don't know if 100 or 105 is harder, but they're both just so deep, and anyone could win a few of those.
I agree. All right, so 115, Camden Elliott, 120, Cam Lord, 125, Willow White. Once again, we have three weights, two returning state champions in
Yep.
Camden Elliott and Willow White. Cam Lord, Dan, has had one heck of an off season.
yes, sir. 100% true.
So, you know what? I'm not surprised by any of those three individuals. Brant, was it hard? Was there any, I don't know, was there a situation like at one of those weights where you might go, it might be somebody else, or were those three pretty solid?
Again, let me pull my notes up on it. I mean, Willow White's not. I mean, she's one.
Right.
You tell me where she's going to be, and she's going to be the one I have number one there. And really, I think the same for Cam Elliott. She may be at 120. Something I need to follow up on. I would say 120 at right now is the most open. You have Cam Lord. You also have Shania Martinez at East Bay. You have Kat Kenny. Kat Kenny actually placed higher at state last year, but at one of the events, I think early, I don't have it marked. I think it's early, Super 32 early entry. Cam Lord beat Kat Kenny there.
In overtime.
Yeah, so that's why she's there number one now. But I mean, so you've got a few girls there that um would be in the mix.
And then at 130, finishing out that graphic with the picture of Dan. Dan, is that your big hat or is that a Palmetto hat?
That's
What
my
is that?
big hat and my big belt.
Yes.
That's my girl.
Isis Estes Brinson from Miami Palmetto. One of the weights that I think
this weight
that's a
class.
great picture. It really adds to the graphic, I think.
This weight class could be loaded if all the girls are there. Now she's at number one. She won at Super 32 early entry. Sophie Simons from Naples placed fourth last year at 130. Gabrielle Asabi from Sun Lake, state placer. Abigail Moyer, Taylor Pelchat, Eduarda Franklin Soros, all state placers at returning. You also have Alyssa Doolittle and Kamaya Ross, who
Wow.
had wonderful summers. So you're looking at 8 girls right there that you could make an argument to win this weight class, I think.
Well,
so
and
interesting to see how
honestly,
that plays out throughout the year.
I mean, like I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, if you see a path, it's typically not at White's path, right?
It
It's
is
not in
not.
her weight. So
Yes.
I'm not saying that people will avoid her. But if I'm going to make a decision and a choice, it's one of those things where I go, you know what, that might be my path to a title. It may be a little bit easier, that sort of thing. So
And we probably have a few Loudon Swains
I
out there, but
will.
for the most part, you don't want to be in Willow's
Yeah,
weight class
Bella
if you
White's
have
got a
state
great
title
new
aspirations.
hairdo. It's fluffed up like this. I saw it yesterday for media day. I love it. Keep it going. The next weight they're
135.
about to say 135. I saw her this weekend. This this she's one of those girls. The only loss she had last year was to Willow White, 3 times or whatever, right? This may be one of those girls that uh, we say it could be as much of a lock as anybody, wherever she sits. I mean, she has gotten bigger, she has gotten stronger. I saw her over the weekend. She looks good. She's wrestling hard. And she went through everybody last year except Willow White at the lighter weight. And she,
Well, and I'll tell you, I mean, she sits at a group of weights that is pretty tough. I mean, Zoe is at 35, Case at 40, and then Eiley Briggs, who is an absolute stud, sitting at 45, all within kind of shouting distance of one another. So again, one of those situations where you're trying to figure out who's going to kind of fall where.
and
That
I think Zoe's working her way into the pound for pound conversation. We got to see her win a state title first. But with Ailey, Abby, and Willow, I think those are the three that we believe right now in our state are probably that way. Torina Rushing at 70 is a beast too. But
And
yeah,
she may be at a different weight also, but I
yeah.
need to follow up on that.
so yeah,
Um,
She's had a
looking
monster summer.
looking at the top of the weight classes, Desir at 55, Rushing, who you just mentioned, at 70, who might be at a different weight, Paisley Murphy at Sun Lake, and Kenzie Barrett at 235. And I'm going to just go ahead and mention, right, if there's a point in time, or if there's a point in the girls' weights, and in my opinion, just looking from the outside in, where you're like, I'm not 100% sure kind of how the ones are going to kind of come out. Rushing obviously has had a fantastic summer
Summer, yeah.
and everything else, but those are weights that the defending state champions, they're gone.
Hmm.
The individuals who, there's no Grace Leota up there anymore, right? There is no more Maya Bethel at 55 anymore. These weights.
We'll have a new 155 champ for the first time ever in girls state wrestling.
and
That
that's
is
that's
right.
a funny story. Zoe, her sister Sophie wrestles with Bethel, and
Yes.
Zoe's getting bigger and stronger, and she'll eventually probably be up at 155. I think that's where we'll see her. But Maya Bethel was telling her, "You can have it now."
Yep. She gave everybody permission to have the weight after
Yeah,
states last year. She said so.
She's
Yeah,
had it locked down. The
and along
last
what you
thing,
were saying is 190, I feel is wide open. Murphy's had a great summer. Her only loss that I know of is to Rushing. But you have Arhenia Bryan from Terravella, who's had a good summer, has beaten Michaela Ocean, has beaten uh, Murad from Douglas, who's the freshman who came on, beat Mavis from Freedom. So that's been a big summer. And then you have the Douglas freshman. You have Hazuki Sykes from Sumner,
that's right.
returning state placer at 235, maybe down to 190 this year. Latoyo Silvestre, a big, powerful wrestler at South Broward, fourth in the state last year at this weight class, has suffered losses to the girls above her now, but obviously last year she showed she can be better than them. And then Michaela Ocean in that mix also, who's had a very strong summer and kind of made a name for herself. So I think 190 is interesting. 235, you talk about not having like state champs back. I feel like Kenzie Barrett is almost like a defending state champion. I know she didn't finish third last year, but she's been so dominant this year. She's so athletic. She's so locked in that I almost look at her as being like a returning
and
state champion.
if you look at her neck, you'll see the bronze, you'll
Yeah,
see the
she has the other
silver,
colors on her.
and she said that she wants the gold.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So one of the things, the last thing I want to talk about with the number ones before we get to actually previewing the girls is that, and we're going to talk about this more throughout the year, but you only see two schools, South Dade and Sun Lake, I believe, that
With
have two number
multiple number
ones,
ones. Yeah.
right? And everybody else is populated by, every other weight class is populated by a different team. that gives you a pretty good idea that one of the most important things in this team race, man, finishing first is going to be huge. But I'm telling you what, put people on the podium. Just because
Yeah,
we're highlighting the number ones, man, I'll tell you what, finishing third, finishing fourth, getting bonus, they're going to play a huge role in what ends up happening as far as a team race goes.
absolutely.
Agreed.
All right. Thank you for pulling that up, Brant. You know what? Those pictures look pretty good. I think I got somebody who might be able to get you a better picture than a couple of those.
It
No, I'm
looks
just
like
kidding.
it looks like you're promoting the GFC.
The
What's
the
the
Grappler
GFC?
Fall Classic with the coloring. Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, well, I mean, orange and green are my colors, and then I needed the something other than that behind my logo.
Yeah, you should have those colors all the time. You're a huge Canes fan.
Big Canes fan. I can't wait to see him lose the pit. I mean, not lose the pit.
At this point, it wouldn't surprise me.
All right. So, Dan, why don't you why don't you tell us the four events that we're going to talk about? Just, I mean, we're not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but honestly, guys, we're not going to talk about the boys this week because we've got another week before they kick off. But this is kind of the way the show we hope it's going to run, in the future. So the four events, three of them tomorrow or whenever you're watching this, they're on Tuesday,
Tuesday.
right? And then one this weekend. So what are the four events there,
We've
Daniel?
got the ladies of the ring. We've
That's
got
on
the
Saturday.
queens of the nest. We've got the drumstick duels, which is a great name.
Which is the best name, right?
Yes. And I hope they're giving out drumsticks.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I hope they are. If you're listening to this and you're involved in the drumstick duel, let us know if they're gonna have like big turkey legs there.
I'll let you. I'm going over there, especially if they have drumsticks. I'll go over see if they have any for the media.
Well, and I think
You get your swag. I'm gonna try to get my drumsticks.
yeah, there you go. I got some good swag. Duck gave me a polo. Tante Giovanetta gave me a polo this week. I'm working my way through the swag just to make you guys jealous. Um, and then I think the biggest one of the week is the Flagler Rotary, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I just want to real
agree.
quick, just so people may want to go. Flagler Rotary, obviously at Flagler Palm Coast. Lady Bulldog Drumstick Duels is at Mel High, Melbourne. Queens of the Nest IBT is at 5A, and Ladies of the Ring is at Parish.
At Parish. Okay. All right. So Brant has come up with the idea for all of us to pick which team is going to win
Yes.
at each event.
Hail to
And
you,
this
Lee
is going to be
Corso.
fun because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Early in the season, who knows? And then also, if a wrestler decides to, I don't know, they're banged up and they miss a week or
Yeah,
something like
or
that, and
the
we don't know that information.
they've gone to somewhere for Thanksgiving. Or...
Exactly. So this is based on the information we have, not necessarily how it's going to play out.
Listen, I mean, they picked Penn State to finish first in college football, and James Franklin's at Virginia Tech now, and the season's not even over. So who knows what's going to happen?
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's do a quick overview of the teams, or maybe a match or two, or a couple matches. I'm going to start at the Drumstick Duels. The Drumstick Duels, according to Cabra's rankings, has 23 ranked wrestlers, ranging from, let's see, number 4, Abigail Moyer from Coral Springs is your highest ranked wrestler. She's number 4 at 130. But we have a lot of different teams: Osceola, Westwood, Harmony, Toho, Gateway. Really, a lot of Central Florida over to the coast, teams getting together to start this. I love starting the week with duels, or starting the season with duels. It gets a lot of my kids matches, that if you do an IBT and they go 0-2, especially if I'm trying to develop a squad, that's a little bit harder. So, Brant, can you give me I don't know, maybe a weight or two that you're kind of looking at it this way?
Yeah, I mean, first the thing about Aaron Burnley took over at Melbourne, hits his second year there, I believe. He's his daughter played volleyball with my daughter, and he said something to me once. And it wasn't because of me, but he called me up. He goes, I used to coach wrestling. Who should I talk to in the county? And he talked to a couple of coaches, and they're like, listen, Mill High needs a coach. He's gotten there and he's been really big on building the program and building things up. I mean, a girls' duels event, there's not many of those. And so you have like this opening thing, like you said, it's a great name, the Drumstick Duels, but it's a way for, and a lot of these teams are not, there's only two that I have ranked in duels. So there's going to be a bunch of girls that are going to be getting their feet wet, getting their first experience competing. You get to do it in a different environment, a very supportive environment with your team behind you, and
Hmm.
maybe less tension of if I lose, I go home, and that sort of thing. So I think it's a great environment for something like this. So just having a girls' duels event to start the year, I think, is wonderful. There's a few weight classes. That was what you said. I'm intrigued here by the 235s.
Hmm.
Uh, you've got Caitlin Holt from Harmony could be there. Zanis Outen from Sebastian River. Damarius Gonzalez, if she goes 235, she's ranked there. Danica Taifa from Osceola and Yamilet Pastrana, maybe back from Apopka. I never heard from Apopka, but you've got a lot of ranked wrestlers there. You also have 135, should be interesting. A lot of girls right in the middle. I'm curious myself who Toho Pekaliga places there. But just I'm going to hopefully be heading over there to watch a little bit of it. And I just love the fact that the girls are getting like a duels tournament to open, and it's because Aaron's worked hard to kind of build
I
something
love
up
it.
there where they had nothing at Melai, or I think he had like two wrestlers
I
in the
love it.
room, and now he can host a girls' duels tournament.
Daniel, is there one matchup at this duels that you might be interested in watching? If it materializes, we don't even know if it will.
190, Violet Duff versus Victoria Batista, 14 and 15, ranked by the Great Cabra. Victoria
Always
Duff
curious
from
about those. When
Olympia,
I always want that
Batista
14 to
from
win by like
Gateway.
1 point.
What I've noticed in the past is when I've been in a gym and I've seen kids down the middle of the rankings ranked that close by him, it usually turns out to be a wonderful match. So I'm
Yep.
interested in seeing how that one plays out.
All right, so I'm going to take up at 100. We all know how good Anaya Wayne is there. And Aubrey McNichols
Yes.
is there nipping at the heels.
Yep.
You will get a really
She
good
should see. She
idea
We should see
of
a breakout
where.
year from
I'm,
her.
I'm sorry.
We should have a breakout year from her. We should see one from McNichols.
I just think that it'll give you a real good sense.
Yeah.
And again, we've talked about how tough 100 is. But that will be a good measuring stick for both of those individuals in an early season test. All right.
And Aaron, if you're watching this, and I just said those nice things about you, and we've texted, get me a schedule so I know who's even wrestling who there.
Yeah.
All
Come
right.
on, Aaron.
Brant, who
Yes.
do you have winning the drumstick duels?
Well, I hate to go chalk for my rankings. I do have Harmony and Coral Springs both ranked as a girls duels team, not ranked on the IBT side. As I'm looking at Harmony, I don't know how I don't have them ranked on the IBT side, but they're just a few steps off, as we've talked about before, like those 16 or those 12 points, top 12 that score points are just a little bit on the outside of scoring points. Harmony is the deepest team here. Coral Springs, I'm curious to see if they're as deep as I think they'll be, but I'm going with the Longhorns.
And Daniel?
Well, I think if all three of us were picking one team, we'd all pick Harmony. I think that's
Well, and that's
We're
and that's
allowed
okay.
to.
That's what you should pick who you think's
fair.
going to win.
However, since you did pick Harmony and I want to play devil's advocate, I have been over to Toho and I've been in their room and I got to do their media day and they have a good young coach in there that's coaching the girls and she's doing a phenomenal job and I'm interested to see Toho and what they show up with there. So I'll go out on a limb and I'll take from my backyard Toho
and, and you know what? I am not Daniel, so I agree with Brant. I just think in duels,
Yeah.
the deepest team is most likely to have, the impact of an individual in an IBT is huge because you can score 24, 25, 26 points, whatever the case is.
Yeah,
And
in reality, I would love to see Toho. Obviously, I think all three of us agree that Harmony's probably going to win the tournament.
in
But
duels,
I
it's
do
gonna
want
be
to give
hard
some
for.
love out to them. I've seen, they're building a good program down there in Lake Nona, right there. So got to do that.
All
But
right.
I think
So
we're all in agreement on.
Harmony, and Toho is where we're going with that situation. All right, let's flip over to Queens of the Nest. Much smaller event, IBT. Again, it's really interesting. You get teams from the same general area, kind of coming together and wrestling one another. You got Bellevue, Hernando, which is traditionally a super solid squad, one of the best squads in the state of Florida. Traditionally, it's going to be really interesting for me to see Hernando this year, and especially at this event, because they over the last 2 years they've graduated a lot of firepower. They've graduated a lot of really talented wrestlers. You got Wikiwachi, you got Dunedin, you got Hudson, you got the host, you got East Lake. You got a lot of different teams here. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say East Lake as far as the team that I'm going to pick to take this. But I wouldn't be surprised. Emerson Weber and Hernando, definitely a crew that can get it done. I'm just really interested to see what kind of depth Hernando brings with this. Daniel, who are you taking?
Palm Harbor University.
Palm Harbor.
Palm Harbor University.
Why?
Think that they have obviously Sophie Bowie leads the way, but they have a few young girls that did compete over the weekend and competed tough. I know they lost the girls' duel, won the boys' duel, but um, I think those girls wrestled tough, and I'm going to take Palm Harbor.
All
I
right.
disagree with you out on East Lake. I don't disagree with you. I am interested to see Hernando because I think all he's been hearing about his girls all off season is they're not
Yep.
the same, they're not good enough, they can't do it, they can't be who they were. And I'm sure he's been in the lab making sure they're ready.
Oh, I agree with you.
I think
I'm
I'm
super
I'm
interested.
excited to see there, but I'm going to go kind of a different direction, and I'm going to say Palm Harbor University.
So before I go to Brand, I want to go ahead and actually take the point that you just made and I'm gonna blow it up a little bit. And that is winning week one of a tournament is great, but it doesn't mean anything in the long run, right? The truth of the matter is, South Dade, look at South Dade at the knockout. I don't know, it was last year, 2 years ago. Did not have their footing yet. They weren't there. They were still trying to put the pieces in place. They were trying to get people into the lineup. By the time they hit when it mattered, that team was on. And what we learn when we go to these early season events is who developed over the summer, right? Who's getting better? How are coaches putting people into place and learning that information? And I just think that, drawing a conclusion this early is really a bad idea. So, Brant, let's flip to you.
And let me just add that I'm doing this on the fly because nobody got their picks to me early, like we had asked.
I did. I did.
I didn't get them. Where did you send them?
I texted him.
Oh, I'll have to check and see. All right. Well, here we
Don't
go.
worry. I understand what you're going through because you guys were messaging on Tuesday night and I was in the middle of a media day, so I could hear it happening in my phone. I'm driving to a coffee shop Wednesday on my way there, and I go, let me see what time we're starting this thing today. And I look down and it says, we can't do it. We're not doing it this week. And I was like, oh shit, I'm on my way to set up. So
I'm sorry.
I
That was my
understand.
fault.
I understand if you didn't see the text from him. I too,
I apologize.
I gotta
That is
look and
my
see if
fault.
that's in here.
I too did that.
But anyway,
So as I see from the graphic there, Brant, you are
yeah,
taking
I don't know what you
Hernando.
guys are talking about Hernando not being good this year. No, this is a tough one to pick a team on, and it does not shock me one bit that that we differ on this. But it also was an easier pick for me because I know Hernando's been doing this for a long time, and I know they've got girls in the room that have been in the room that have been waiting for this chance and this time. A huge graduating class left them last year, including a state champ, state placers, and there's going to be a lot of girls but they will probably have 10, 12, 14 girls in this, and you get that in an IBT like this, that can be the difference, especially you have a few that'll do well, and I think they will. So Hernando is my pick.
Very nice. All right, so let's now shift to Ladies of the
I
Ring. I know.
and I knew that. That's why I let you have it, and I went with Palmer.
Because I sent my picks out 3 days ago.
We're gonna shift to Ladies of the Ring. I want to do Flagler last, so that's the reason we're doing that. Even though Flagler is tomorrow and Ladies of the Ring is on.
More to discuss.
Yes.
Flagler
So
is like,
I will say though, Ladies of the Ring is a deep
yes,
tournament, right? We have 28 ranked wrestlers, according to Brandt. We have what, 14 that are ranked in the top 10. In fact, I'm looking over your rankings here, and I'm a little surprised that Riley Lancaster's ranked number 10 at 170. That's the first time I've seen that. And the reason I say that is Lancaster's super, super tough. But the fact that we have,
I can tell you why she's there. Just give
you
me a
can
moment,
tell me.
because I was shocked by seeing that too. She's got a few losses, and one of them is to Amaris Echezarreta from South Dade, who beat her 7-3 fairly recently. And then, and if you go up the list, then you've got Nazario from Vieira beat Echezarreta, and and then it's it's
So and so beats so and so and so and so, and you move down. Yeah.
So Echeverria also has been up higher, and at the early entry, we had 4 girls place, and yeah, okay. So that's just where she is at the moment. But I was kind of shocked too when I made this. Like, we were talking before the show about how we learn about our data when we're inputting it, and I was like, how do I have her at 10? And then I went and checked, and
Yeah.
it
No.
makes sense, but doesn't make sense because I don't think she'll be there that long.
Yeah, I agree with you. But you know what? That's the world of the sport. I mean, that's just the way it works. All right, Daniel. So we're looking at Ladies of the Ring. Just give me one weight that you're kind of paying attention to.
I am paying attention to 115.
And why?
Number 5, number 8, number 9, number 17. I think we're going to see a good there. I'm really excited to see Mackenzie Alcroft wrestle. She seems to be healthy. She seems to be in great shape. She seems to be ready to go. So I'm excited to see how she does this year. But yeah, it looks like that's a pretty full weight class for this tournament, and I'm excited to see them throw down, throw down.
And what is the team that you're taking to win?
Admiral Farragut.
Okay. All right.
For
You
the
want to
same
expand,
reason.
or you just want to just tell me Admiral
I
Farragut?
think Ryan Lancaster's too low. I think she's going to have a good tournament. She's going to score a bunch of points. They've got another couple girls at the other weights like Emma Goodman, and then they've got a tough girl up at the higher weights. And I just think that they're coached well, and they're going to come and wrestle hard.
Awesome. Brant,
Did
what
I
is
miss your
one
pick?
weight?
Did I miss your pick?
I just
No, I
my
was
pick.
first.
Yeah.
I was first.
Okay.
He was first, but
Okay.
I
I
can
didn't
tell you
think
mine
so,
if you
but
want me to give it to you.
well, my head's just in a mess. No, we go on. I'll go. When I looked at this, there were a lot of teams that I think can win this one. Just a lot of teams with some depth and a heavy hitter or two. I almost picked Braden River. I almost picked the host Parrish, and I know about Braden River. I haven't heard on Parrish, and I have not heard much on Strawberry Crest. But Strawberry Crest last year had one of the biggest rosters in the postseason, and they did not graduate all of them. And so there is the potential to them being a very deep team. And when I look at this uh, group of teams here, I feel like that could be enough to win it.
Okay. So you're
So
taking
Strawberry
Strawberry
Crest
Crest.
is who I take.
Very cool. Is there a particular weight that you're interested in looking at?
Ooh, that's a good one. I want to see how wrong I am on, as you guys put it, um, on Riley there at 170. Hopefully she we'll see her maybe wrestle Mia Johnson. 120 was interesting to me. Kaja Williams, Vanessa Whitelock, Clarissa Pequeno, who actually just wrote me last night. She's at 125. Caitlin Bower from Pierce Central, 120 should be interesting. And then 115's got three in the top 10 potentially with Jesse Griffith, Mackenzie Allcroft, and Jordan Del Grace. Those kind of stick out.
Very cool. All right. So, for
Survey
me,
says.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Survey
For
says.
me, it's this is a tough one because if you look down the list based upon Brandt's information, you've got Admiral Farragut who have three ranked. You've got Bell Creek who have four ranked. You have Braden River who have three ranked. And there is no team I think that has more than four that are ranked. And that means that you're probably going to have a pretty even tournament. It's going to be kind of coming down to names that are not on this list to see who kind of surprises everyone. And as a result, I am going to take Sumner. I like Hazuki Sykes. She's ranked number 4 at 190, kind of leads the way. Nolan at 145, ranked number 9. Will we see, the rest of the crew kind of come through for them and kind of elevate them to be able to claim the title? That'll be what's interesting to me. And then as far as the weight class goes, the one match I'm really interested in is at 105. I think 105 is a super tough weight, and I really like watching Madeline Bombardier, Mulberry, Ashley Slagle from Palmetto. I think that has the potential to be a really good match. So
I'm always excited on tournaments like this because we're gonna learn people we didn't know before. And it might be a girl that just started wrestling. It might be someone who's been in a room somewhere and hasn't had the chance. But I think, especially a tournament like Ladies of the Ring, I think we're going to come out of this and be like, "Wow, that girl's really good. Where's she been hiding?" That's what I'm curious to see is who wins some of these weight classes
mhm.
that we didn't know about.
Well, and especially for you, I can't imagine. I can only imagine. In fact, I can't imagine. I know exactly how this works because I did rankings for so long. This first week,
Oh, it's crazy.
this next group of rankings is going to be Brant's going to lose some hair.
Week one, will destroy me.
All right, we move to our final tournament of the weekend
Big
that we're
bad
going to
rotary.
pick, the Flagler Rotary. It has 86 ranked
Yes.
wrestlers. 86 ranked wrestlers. It has 5 number ones, as Dan said. It has 17, I'm sorry, that are ranked in the top 5. This is an absolutely fantastic tournament featuring teams. You have the defending state champs in Flagler Palm Coast. You have previous champs in Orlando Freedom. You've got the upstarts in St. John Newman. You got George Jenkins, always Dan's favorite team.
Dan's favorite pick.
You've got we mentioned earlier in
Well,
the
they're going to be
preview.
disappointed in me today because I'm not picking them to win the Flagler Rotary.
We mentioned earlier in the thing that the 2 number ones, right? Sun Lake, which is a team that everybody's talking about Freedom. People are talking about South Dade. Don't sleep on Sun Lake.
Sun
That
Lake's
is
been
a
building
really,
something.
really solid program. So let's start with you, Brant. What are you looking for the most out of this? And what is your
Everything.
team?
I am looking for everything out of this one. It's so deep. I can't even like necessarily pick any specific one. I am curious. Uh, well, my team might be able to be determined by what I talk about, but I want to see how Freedom looks because I know they'll have 14 girls, and I want to see where they line up because I've not heard that from them yet. And maybe who else they have that I don't know they have yet. I'm curious to see how they do, and then some of these weight classes, I'm curious to see. Like we talked about 120 being so tight, and in
Yep.
this one you get Cam Lord, you get Kat Kenny possibly wrestling, and Mary McKinney trying to mess that up from Choctawhatchee.
Say
But
that again.
hmm?
Say that school again.
Choctawhatchee.
Oh, very well. Very good.
Um, are you? I mean, I've written on Choctaw. I covered one of their basketball
No, you
games
did
back in my
great.
freelance days.
He's saying that because he can't say any of them.
Correct. Like Toho
Um,
Palooka Navika.
what? I just meal. But like
Yosemite, he said.
you've got 125. I've got 9 girls ranked in that weight class, and girls at the top: Kiana Gavir, Paola Ramirez, Savannah Porter, all could come out on top here. So, as you talked about, the first week of crazy for rankings, it is, and it's my favorite week, even if I don't sleep. But you get to see who's put in the work in the off season, who's ready to go already. We don't know if anyone's not well, and maybe that comes into it, but just it's going to be just a chance to finally see what's going on. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no doubt. So, who is your team?
I'm picking Orlando Freedom to win this. And I should point out we have in my IBT rankings 5 teams in the top 10: Freedom, Sun Lake, Newman, Vieira, Flagler, Palm Coast. And we also have Winter Springs and Gulf Breeze, who are also ranked in my top 25. So just loaded in teams. But I think Freedom's uh the depth of their numbers. Sun Lake, they did graduate a couple spots they'll have to fill in. So I'm going just with quantity too. I just think Freedom will have the most girls ready to go, but the team race is intriguing, and I know St. John Newman is going to feel slighted because I think they feel they're ready to contend too. So it's going to be fun to watch that part of it.
No doubt. Daniel, one weight and who? Well, before we get to the one weight, you said you're not taking George Jenkins. So who are you taking?
No, and listen, I think they are close. I think they have a full squad. I think
They
they're
do.
I just don't know if they'll have enough at the beginning of the season to get to the podium, where I think if this same tournament happens, maybe halfway through the season, maybe more of them place, and that gives them a better chance as they get more experience, right?
Yeah.
I think Freedom is the easy pick. I think
Okay.
Freedom is the most loaded. I think Freedom is has the deepest roster coming into here. And I think Freedom probably going to win it. But just to be that guy,
Not so fast.
I'm going to I'm going to take St. John Newman.
All right. All right. You know what?
Because
We need to
why
get
not?
we,
I love
you know,
Freedom. I
he
love the
needs,
Bush brother. I love everything
he
about.
should be the lead Corso. We need to get like
But
the
if you
headgear
The
back.
guys,
headgear.
but if you guys are all going to go chalk, someone's got to be the asshole and pick the other one.
Well, and you
The
know what? You
problem is
play
I'm
that
the only
role.
one that if I don't go against chalk, then I'm saying my rankings are
Right. So let me
so
just be that guy on here to say, you know what?
yes.
All
Here,
right.
And
So
then every
what?
week he can be our celebrity picker too.
yes.
So what is what is the weight class? I mean, it's hard to pick a weight here, right? I mean,
I mean, they're
and
all
don't
so
give me like 7.
no. I mean, I wrote down individuals to keep your eyes on, and I wrote down all this stuff, and I've got it all on my thing here, and I'm so excited to try
I'm
to,
looking forward to the 1 hour Word Wrestling preview
but I'm trying to
podcast
keep up with it.
because you could do that.
Yes, but I will be taking pictures tomorrow. Um, However, the matchup, I'm just going to go with a matchup that I want to see.
Okay.
I want to see number 1, Jocelyn Johnson versus number 4, Hanil Gregorio. I think both of them are
Mhm.
kind of a mirror of each other, the way they wrestle, how athletic they both are. They're both coached very well. And that's a matchup that I wish I could be in the room to, if that matchup happens, to watch it. I think that's going
In
to,
the room where it happens. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's one matchup that I would love.
Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton. Oh, maybe we better not say that because
Stop. All right. I'm gonna go to
I get canceled.
I'm gonna go to Freedom. I'm gonna go with Freedom. Freedom is my team as well. And I'll tell you what, I'm really interested in a weight class that has already been mentioned, but 120. I think that with Cameron Lord, Kenny, McKinney. I mean, just the depth at 120 is super good. The potential matchups in the quarters and the semifinals throughout are just awesome. And, it's just going to be one of those things. It's going to be super interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch all the different
I
ones
mean, we could
from.
see a matchup with Gavari and Ramirez, number two versus.
Well, yeah, that's awesome, dude.
And meanwhile, you go down that weight and you've got Savannah Porter sitting there going, not so fast. What about me? Right? And
Well, and we watched
she,
Savannah Porter at Fargo, and she wrestled. I mean, was it Fargo? I think it was Fargo. She wrestled really, really well. Um, I'm going to ask you guys one question that's kind of on. I didn't prep you for this, so be ready for it. I'm
oh,
going to go to Dan
perfect for
first.
me.
I know. I'm
Perfect
going
for
to go to Dan
me.
first.
Because I'm such a prepper. Prepper.
So
Such a preparator.
he's got all his canned vegetables and everything else.
Yeah.
What is one name in this? Brant, will you flip that back up real quick? Can you just show
Oh,
it
sure, yeah.
real quick, and then I'm going to give. I'll come to this question. Number one, I love the graphic for everyone who's looking. I love the graphic. You can see kind of the way we picked and everything else. I love that we're making picks. I'm really afraid to make these picks, but I love the fact that we're going to go out on a limb and try it out and see what happens and everything else. I love seeing all the logos and everything else. Brant, thanks for doing that. And we're going to do the same thing with a handful of tournaments for both the
Each
boys
week.
and the
Yeah.
girls in the future. So, all right. So my question to you, and we'll start with Daniel first. One name that you might not know going into Flagler Rotary, but you will know when we're done.
Oh, who do you not know? Well, it can't be a ranked person.
Well, no, it could be a ranked person, but maybe it's a ranked person who is lower. Maybe it's somebody you don't really have like I don't know. And it does so when I pick my hammers every single week, right? You don't have to win to be impressive, right? You don't have to win the tournament to show that you really are something. So basically what I'm asking is who is lower ranked by Brant, who you think has the best opportunity to make the biggest jump?
Okay.
I got
Uh,
one if you want to
All
keep
right,
looking.
Brant, go ahead and get and flip that off so we can see it, man.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll have that
All right.
fixed next week too. I'll make
We'll
sure
we'll do better. We'll do
that I
better.
have the picks ahead of time and we'll figure out how we want to run that.
Yes.
I would say Emily McIntosh at St. John Newman. She was injured. She's back. She's invested. She's healthy and wrestling, and she's only 19 right now, based on uh, really just not having recent results to put in there. But she's one that I would definitely look to make a statement this weekend
That's a
and be
tough way to
moving
make a
up.
statement.
It is. I mean, she may not win it, but I could see her reach the semis,
Okay.
and kind of mess up the chalk a little bit, depending on how how it all plays out as far as where people end up on the bracket. But I could see her placing higher than she should based on my rankings. Just now gaining a chance to get out there and wrestle well.
I love it. All right. Daniel? Daniel, I got you to stop talking. How'd this happen?
Anna Marie Eder of Cocoa Beach, who's number 24, a freshman, tough young lady. I think she's going to come in and have a good run and move up the ladder there.
I love it. All right. I'm really interested in seeing number 16 at 130, Genesis Scorsia. And the reason I'm interested in that is so, and this is kind of the basis for why I made this or I had this question for everybody, and that is this is a weight that Freedom has two ranked girls in, right? And And this is an opportunity if you're going to win a state title later on. We already talked about the depth. The individuals who sit between 10 and 20
Yeah.
making an impact is going to be huge. So I'm really interested to see how wrestlers from Freedom, St. John Newman, all the different schools who are kind of sitting in that tier make that next step, what they do, and whether they're going to make that step. And I think this weekend at 1:30, she has an opportunity to.
Well, and it's tough too, because there's some girls that he has at some weights now that if they stay at that weight, then I would say, oh, they're going to
Yeah, I
make
mean,
a run there. But if
I
they,
would say most of these weights, maybe half of them, they may be at different weights, either to
right,
start the year or for the whole
right,
year.
no, it's not your, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying, like, when I look at a girl that's a number 10 at a, let's say a 105, and I'm like, whoa, she could make a hell of a run there. But if she's 110, oh my God, that's terrible. You know what I mean? Like, because then there's Gerber and there's Haney and there's Pinto and there's, and so depending where they land, what do they do, right? So yeah, like yeah, you got a bunch of those girls there, Brant, that are between like 10 and 15 that they're not so much at the Flagler Rotary. They're sprinkled all over the state this week. But yeah,
Mhm.
you could see, and there's a bunch of girls, man. I wish we would be seeing them, but we won't see them until probably
Well, week
uh,
one, you're going to have Let Freedom Ring, and you're going to see a
right.
ton
Let
at Let
Freedom
Freedom
Ring.
Ring.
That's the same weekend as Danny Byron, right?
Yes,
But that's only one day, right? Byron.
it's Saturday, Let
Yeah.
Freedom Ring.
So that's um that's when we'll see like the Doral girls will be up here, South Day girls will be up here. We'll see Land of Freedom. Obviously, it's their tournament. We're gonna get to see the best.
We'll see a lot more there. A lot of teams there, and a lot of names there that maybe are one or two girls on a team that'll be there.
So that might be the one tournament that really shakes up your rankings. That's gonna really tell you where people are, right?
Oh,
The first few
well,
weeks, all of them are going to
the
shake up
first
his
couple of
rings.
weeks are. I mean,
Yeah. But this is, I
to
mean,
really get into, I mean, there are girls here that aren't wrestling this year that I have ranked, and I don't know they're not wrestling yet. There's girls coming in, and
Correct.
boys too, and there'll be girls that are wrestling that I don't know about that all of a sudden will be great. Or move-ins, I don't know. I mean, it's the first couple weeks. I don't really feel comfortable about my rankings till like Christmas,
once
just because you don't know a lot of things
and
heading in.
once again, even looking at the Flagler Rotary, what have we been saying? 110. I mean,
Yeah.
the top 10 girls at 110 could all win this thing. And you go to Flagler Rotary and there's Gerber and Haney and Pinto and Kerber. There's a Gerber and
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 just to note, Haney probably won't be there.
Schumann and
Um,
Joey McDonald.
Elliot may not be in hers. Those are just
And
things
that
I've heard
happens too.
since I made these rankings like 24 hours
Right.
ago.
And then I know you have Mia from George Jenkins is at 105, but does she go to 110 or does she stay at 105? That's a question there. What's
It's just so fun. I can't wait.
uh,
I got 9 hours of sleep last night, and I know I'm not doing that again until March. So I'm just thrilled that it's
and
all
then
starting tomorrow.
170. The girl from Vieira, Savannah Nazario, she's
All
probably,
right.
but man,
Daniel's just down his list as talking.
To
And you're
be
like, look
fair,
at that.
folks, it's his
That's
first
so
time seeing
interesting.
it. He only
Nazario,
had it in his inbox for
Manu,
2 days.
yeah, it's been
Gentlemen, it is Thanksgiving. Daniel,
Yes.
one food you guys serve at Thanksgiving that we might not know.
pumpkin roll.
Pumpkin roll.
Yeah, so it was introduced to me by my wife's grandmother 20 something years ago. And then it has over the years gotten better as Cynthia has learned to get more creative with it. And she takes like a sheet pan and she takes the pumpkin and then she fills it with the crema of
All
whatever,
right, that is enough.
rolls it up, a little pat of sugar. Ooh,
Brant, one food.
At the risk of being canceled, I'll say I don't eat turkey. I don't eat stuffing. I don't eat cranberry sauce. I don't eat green bean casserole. I don't eat any of those things.
What do you have?
Uh,
Like a steak?
my mom makes all those things, and she has
Chinese
the
food.
best mashed potatoes. But shrimp, uh, big, huge, chilled, jumbo-sized shrimp. That's my Thanksgiving meal. That and potatoes.
Wow, that is so wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am very traditional.
We have the turkey
Um,
and the candy
but
yam.
I will say one unusual thing that we have at our Thanksgiving is what they call funeral potatoes in Utah, which is just basically like a potato kind of casserole type of thing. But that's the
Yeah,
name of them because every time you go to a funeral, there are like
there are those
17
potatoes.
different versions of funeral potatoes there.
All right.
All right.
Now my mom makes the mashed potatoes and mixes it with the cream cheese and the milk and the sour. Oh, it's
Oh,
just
And you
that's
eat
all that
mashed
matters.
potatoes with jumbo shrimp.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
you dip the shrimp. He dips the shrimp in the potatoes. What's great is
What do you eat for Thanksgiving?
yeah,
Turkey?
we
What do
do
you
a turkey.
simpletons
Shrimp.
eat?
Yeah, we do
And
a
my
turkey.
wife makes an amazing corn casserole. So that's the third thing that's been added.
Corn
And
casserole, potatoes,
Shrimp.
and jumbo shrimp.
Yeah.
happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
So, yeah, that is so awesome. Yeah. With that being said, let me find
Yeah.
quick.